I know you've spoken openly about, in particular, your academic experience and what you started to observe when it came to the messaging about America, about who we are, about our history, about what's important. So talk a little bit about that. Like what was your first sort of exposure to, wait, what are they saying and why is this eerily reminiscent of where I came from?
Yeah, so it's, like, where do I even begin the shock that I felt? And so I came to America and just thinking, story of America is a miracle. It is literally the best country in human history. It's not just the contemporary world. As the beginning of the humanity till end, this is the best country. And I don't even know why I have to state this obvious fact to anybody. And then the first thing, at Columbia, at the orientation, they said, who has the problem studying Western civilization? And one of the instructor asking us, like, okay, who likes to read Jane Austen? And as you know, like, my best friend became after middle school was books. It taught me so much about myself, life, and the world. And I love Jane Austen because somebody somehow talked about even romantic love in the 18th century and human emotions, like the things that North Koreans were denied in the 21st century. Somebody was expressing that many hundreds of years ago. And she was saying, okay, that's how you get brainwashed. And it's like, excuse me, what do you mean? And she said, because she was living through the white colonial era and she was a racist, by reading the work of racists, that I'm going to become a racist. And this is why I need to stay woke to notice the bigotry, the systemic oppression that we have for the minority people. And I was like thinking, is this some joke, right? This got to be a joke. And they were
saying... This is a professor?
I know. And then they say, every class, they say, why every problem that we have in the world exists because of white men. And I said, why? Because my son is white and half white, but then he also has a blood of slave, I guess, right? And they said, because some of the white people were slave owners. And in North Korea, you get punished for your ancestor crimes. Like my mother's grandfather supposedly had a tiny land in front of his house. So they classed him as a landowner. That's why I was not in a top class. I was punished for my great-great-grandfather's crime that I was not responsible for. And in America, in the land of free and home of the brave, in this amazing country, they are punishing people for something they have not done. This collective guilt was happening here. And then they were saying the only way we can fix all this injustice is complete destruction, complete dismantling of the system, and repealing the Constitution. And I was thinking, they say they stay outraged, stay angry. I'm like, if you cannot be grateful living in this country, where can you be possibly grateful for every miracle that we live through? And then as soon as I express these thoughts to my professors, they say, Yeonmi, you're brainwashed. And then, of course, they say, if you make somebody feel unsafe, emotion, not physical, not beating them down, if I can cause some, like somebody in unsafe at classroom, I can get kicked out of the university. And that fear made me stay silent until the graduation. Like, I was just too scared too. And it was the most bizarre. I could not distinct. It's so amazing. The white supremacy and the colonialization and corrupt capitalism is the evil of all. It's the same message the North Korean teachers had to teach me.
Wow.
Because they had to survive. That's what regime demands them to teach the young minds. The same message was being taught in the Ivy League school by these professors. So North Korean students and American students are getting the exact same education.
Oh, that is shocking. That is deeply disturbing.
Yeah. we are getting the exact same curriculum.
And what are these students saying? Are the students going along with it? Did you find other quiet dissenters like you?
So not when I was on campus, and when I actually spoke about this maybe last year on one of my interview with Dr. Peterson, and people saw the interview and they emailed me from LinkedIn and emails, and they were Columbia graduates and Columbia attendees right now, and said they feel exactly the same way, but they cannot express their thoughts because they are also fearful because they want to get a corporate job. Columbia has a very expensive tuition. If you go to Columbia afterwards, if you cannot go to a corporation job, you cannot pay for the student's debt, right? It's almost like slavery. Like they make sure it's very expensive, and afterwards you have to get a job that can pay for your debt. And if you have a history of denouncing this mainstream, almost a sermon, like Kim Il-sung's sermon, that they cannot get a job. So your livelihood, your family's livelihood is depending on it. Of course, like now North Korea, the 3 generation gap gonna get punished, but your actual livelihood and dignity and reputation on the line if you do not agree with the political correctness.
Like many people, I am eating healthier these days, trying to. And that's why I love good olive oil. And by good, I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and the healthiest nutrients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months, growing stale and stale and still staler. This is why I like my olive oil direct from small award-winning farms, thanks to a guy named TJ Robinson. This really is a deal changer. Also known as the olive oil hunter. When I tasted TJ's farm fresh oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're delicious on salads, veggies, pasta, fish, meat, you name it. As an introduction to his fresh pressed olive oil club, TJ's willing to send you a full-size bottle worth $39 of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils for just $1 to help him cover shipping. Best of all, there's never a commitment to buy anything, and you can cancel your membership at any time. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 in shipping and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to harvestfreshnow.com. Harvestfreshnow.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 in shipping. Harvestfreshnow.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.